Am I the a-hole for demanding my GF to change her dress for a wedding? This happened during this weekend, me being in my early 30s and my GF in her late 20s. I was invited to a wedding ceremony of a colleague and could bring someone with me. I asked my GF that I've been dating for a year if she would like to join me, and she was really happy because she apparently loves weddings. Since we don't live together, I drove to pick her up so we'd have some time to spare before the ceremony. As she comes out, she looks really beautiful and has obviously put in time to fix her hair and makeup. She's also wearing an off-white dress that was rather ornate. As she got in, I told her that she looked stunning, but I asked if she could change to a different colored dress for the ceremony. I'm not one for etiquette by far, but one of the few things I have heard everywhere is that you should not wear a white dress to a wedding unless you're the bride. She became pretty upset and wanted to know what was wrong with her dress. I said that it would be inappropriate to wear a white or off-white dress unless you're the bride, and that it's like wedding law or something, trying to be lighthearted about it. She rolled her eyes and said that it was an outdated tradition about women and virginity, and that when her friends got married everyone wore white and that it's not a big thing anymore. I told her that I don't know what the dress code is for this ceremony, but since it's not saying all white clothes, I still thought she should change to another color but white or almost white, because my colleague was getting married and we had no idea how she felt about it. My GF became really upset and told me that I was trying to control what she was wearing and that it was abusive, which honestly made me really upset and hurt. I said something along the lines of well, you shouldn't go to a wedding with an abuser then, and then I told her to F off out of my car. She began to cry and wanted to apologize and give me a hug, but I just told her to get out, which she did. To clarify, we never left the driveway by her home. I did not drop her off in the middle of nowhere or anything like that. I drove off and she called and texted me a bunch. I answered I don't want to talk right now and then turned my phone off and attended the ceremony. The bride was the only one that was wearing white, so I feel as if my gut feeling was the right one. When I got home, my phone had blown up by texts from her and her best friend saying that I was being inconsiderate and controlling and should apologize for my behavior. I've vented to a few friends, most of them agreeing with me, but some have said that it was an a-hole thing to tell her that she could not wear her dress, because it had nothing to do with me. I feel as if I was in the right since it was my colleague's wedding and it was better to be safe than sorry, but I'm also not sure if I was being an a-hole about the situation. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole? Relevant comments. Commenter 1. NTA. Never thought I'd comment that on a post with a title like yours. It's concerning that your girlfriend would call your etiquette corrections abusive. Has she been abused before? OP replies. Not from what she has told me. She knows that I've had abusive family members and that I'm very careful to not act in a toxic way and do my best to always communicate how I feel before there's an issue. Commenter 2. Absolutely NTA, and your GF sounds like an attention-seeking nightmare. Literally everyone knows you're not supposed to wear white to a wedding. Even if she magically had not heard this rule, the second you mentioned it, a reasonable person would have changed dresses just to be safe. She clearly wanted to be center of attention/create drama. And when you wouldn't allow it, she created drama another way. I would honestly end this relationship unless you want to end up married to one of those Jamils who wear white to their son's wedding and then act mystified when the bride gets upset. OP replies. Thank you. I have been thinking about ending the relationship, partly because I feel like I'm too old for what it is, especially if it's drama, and also if she legit think I was being abusive, then I wouldn't want another person to feel that way about me. Commenter 3. NTA. You don't wear white to someone else's wedding. When her friends got married everyone wore white and that it's not a big thing anymore. That's for her friends and people she knows. This was for a colleague of yours' wedding. AKA strangers she doesn't know. My GF became really upset and told me that I was trying to control what she was wearing and that it was abusive. Your GF was out of line. She can wear white/off-white to other functions. Asking her to change for one freaking event was not abusive. Especially when your reason for why was valid. Said something along the lines of well, you shouldn't go to a wedding with an abuser then, and then I told her to F off out of my car. She began to cry and wanted to apologize and give me a hug, but I just told her to get out, which she did. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Glad you enjoyed the wedding. OP replies. Thank you for the input, and it feels good to hear that I was not out of line in asking her to change her dress. I was honestly a bit shocked to see her come out her front door almost looking like a bride herself. Update. I never expected this thread to get this many replies. I am incredibly thankful for all of you that have reached out and commented, and I really appreciate that you've taken the time to tell me. My GF found out about the thread, don't know if she knew my handle, or just found it, and we talked over the phone. She apologized and I apologized and it was a pretty good talk. She asked if she could come over, and I said no and that it would be best for us to go our separate ways. She got upset and asked why I wouldn't even try to work it out. I basically just said goodbye and then she said my DCK was small, which actually made me laugh after what had been a pretty mature conversation, and then she hung up. I'm pretty sad about it. She really made me feel happy, but as many of you have commented, if this was our first disagreement and she called me abusive, how would future disagreements look? I was hurt, but if she did think I was being abusive, it would be the right thing to do, and if she did not think I was being abusive and said it anyways, I would not want to be with her. So anyways, I think things worked out for the best for us both. Again, thank you all, and I will keep trying to respond to all of you, but there are a lot off messages, but I read through them all. I hope you guys like this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel Relationship Drama Stories.